you so much, sir. And I think that was great. I also feel that this is a very good opportunity for all of us to like learn and get insights on this topic. So I would like to tell everyone before carrying on that we do have a Kahoot quiz at the end. So stay tuned and you might win a book copy. You might not even have to buy it. So stay tuned and
Yeah,
pay
absolutely.
attention. Yes. Okay, so now I would like to introduce our panelist for today, Dr. S. Murugan, who is the Inspector General of Chennai. Then we have Dr. Rajiv Pandey, who is the Director of Amity University. Then we have Sri Santosh Khadsare, Additional Director of Certain. And of course, we have Mr. Sanil Nadkarni, VP and CISO of SLK Global Solutions. And last but not the least, we have our honorable and wonderful moderator with us for the panel discussion, Mr. Burgess Cooper, Partner Information and Cybersecurity at Ernst & Young. I would like to hand over the platform to you, Mr. Burgess, sir, for now.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. I think esteemed panel, Sunday morning, as Sanil mentioned, we're all right out here. Sanil, great introduction. Congratulations on a lovely book. It's book meant with a purpose. The purpose is not just to sort of, as we progress on our journey, we've been through the battle, we've been through the hardships, but why make it hard for a person who's just entering? So very noble thought.
Absolutely.
I'll start with my first question to you, Sanil. Firstly, why InfoSec? What about a student who wants to say, do I make a career in this field or InfoSec? Do you want to start with telling him what are the benefits of a career in cybersecurity or InfoSec?
Oh, absolutely. I think a right question. First of all, I mean, there are a lot of opportunity for people to choose from, but InfoSec is in a nascent stage, right? I mean, Burgess and we all would know that, InfoSec is just recently picking up. And now that we have sort of a new normal, right? Work from home. And then the perimeter is also melting, which means there is more need, and there are a lot of hacks going on across our country and across the world. The need of InfoSec is rising, right? So it's one of the top picks, 5 or 6 domain that will further accelerate, and there are a lot of jobs. So there are millions of job deficit across the globe, and there are a lot of reference of the reports also been mentioned in the book. So that's one. It's a great shining. There is a lot of shining star out there, and a lot of people can choose that to be their North Star. So that's one. B, it's quite an interesting domain, right? You need, as I said, I mean, there are absolutely 30 to 40 odd domains that they can choose from and then pivot it, right? For example, I was working in the AFMC at my start, and then I moved to Microsoft, then to Mphasis, and picking up different roles, right? You pick up GRC, you may pick up cybersecurity, you may pick up audit, you may pick up and use your different skills. So you use your investigative skill at one place, you use your auditing skill, you can pick up cyber law, right? You may want to fight out cyber law. You also needs to understand how does a law enforcement think. So you need to use your different portion of your brain to be able to contribute back. So these are some of the Burgess, some of the reasons.
I think very well said. It's a North Star. He also said cybersecurity and data scientists are the two professions where there is zero unemployment. Everybody has more than 2 or 3 jobs. So if you are a student starting a career, you want to be in an upswing career path, an upswing industry where you are more in demand than the number of people are. And if that's the case, cybersecurity, InfoSec, as Anil mentioned in his book, is the right place. I'll go to Dr. Murugan now. Dr. Murugan, with your perspective of IPS police, how much of value would you be able to bring to your police force from this book? Do you think cybersec is important for the police force to catch up with the crimes?
Good morning to all. It's a wonderful work. So first of all, I want to convey my appreciation to Nadkarni. It's excellent work.
Thank you, sir.
I think utilize is the lockdown period for the wonderful work. I think there is no Indian author book in the InfoSec. All are only foreign authors, and we have come across many books. I think this is the first work, so we have to congratulate. Then point is this is basically a textbook. Either it may be a student or it's a professional. It's a textbook. So he started from alphabet and he just entered the Everest. That is the way he started. That is his presentation. My only point is if he is covering only the students as well as the cyber security professionals. There are other few people, stockholders involved in cybersec, that InfoSec. One is that law enforcing agency. Law enforcing agency is not only police, and the advocate also comes in, the lawyers also comes in the picture.
Right.
Or we can say the judicial officer also comes in the picture. So my only suggestion, you have covered everything, but this forensic side you can also cover. You have covered law, you have covered this InfoSec. The forensic is, you know, that nothing but synchronization of law and the science. So that portion is little bit you can elaborate, or maybe the next edition or something you can elaborate, so that when you are writing the InfoSec, whatever the audit report, everything, even for the company chairman or whatever CEO, whether he is reporting the report, first he have to take some decision whether he will proceed on which basis, with criminally or civil. If something goes wrong, he has to, that auditor, that InfoSec auditor has to collect evidences. Then only the management, the decision making body, he will come to the conclusion. Definitely they will come to conclusion. Yes, we have to proceed criminal side, we have to proceed civil side, or even we have to give more money on budget. Everything based on the evidences. So as a law enforcing agency, my point of view, the book is excellent. Only thing you have to add the cyber forensic side. I am also an author of cyber forensics book. That is the reason I am also insisting. But everything, whenever we are giving a report, everybody will ask, where is the evidence?
Correct.
So that evidence person, how we can collect evidence when there is a breach, when there is something goes wrong. That should be, at least some basic should be given for the professionals also. Then that person is added, automatically this book will be very useful for the law enforcing agency and the judicial officers, including lawyers. That is my suggestion. Otherwise, it's an excellent book. I'm a personal congratulations to this Nadkarni.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Sanil, I think idea for a second book has been given by Dr. Murugan. More on cyber. It's a topic by itself.
I'll draw some inspiration.
Right.
Murugan.
And so from your book, we can take some inspiration also. So, Sri Santosh Katsari, I think you've also written books, authors, and certain with your under Ministry of IT primary role to help cybersecurity, help the country stay secure. So, what are your thoughts on this book? Does it help augment the search purpose of building more cyber professionals?
Firstly, thanks, brothers. And after a long time, we are meeting. And compliments to Sanil for the wonderful book.
Thank you very much, sir.
And surprisingly, we have a lot of forensics people on this panel. Again, compliments to Dr. Murugan also. What I saw, I read you can say some sort of a brief about this book which was given to me, and what Sanil just presented. What I came out to means what my thought about this is he has covered it very beautifully, because what I'll just sum it up in 5 different things. He has covered the awareness part, how a person should be aware. Then he has covered the desire part, means everyone wants, what a person really wants to be in this particular InfoSec field. Then the knowledge part, ability and reinforcement. So these were the key takeaways what I could see from this book. And these are very, very important for a person, especially the new entrant. Who wants to come into this field, and secondly, the people who want to reskill and upskill, because these are the 2 important factors. Even the Prime Minister from during his speech, he has mentioned this very categorically, and I think this book is addressing these issues, and it's really important. And what I would like to also bring out here is, of course, the people who do it first are the winners, and he is one of the winners, I'll call it, because there are many people thinking on writing such books, and it is very much required. So much of talent we have in our country, but there is no proper guidance, and the guidance is what this book will give. And we should have many such books coming in from various different authors. Of course, Sanil can write more series. He can go up to 10. I'll just compliment him. But this is very much required. And it is a start point, I feel, which is required. And let's see, when I read this book in as a whole, means I'll be more enlightened to hear, to learn from what Sanil's thoughts are. And in short, let me say it's a wonderful book, and people should actually read it, and they can find their ways or build their careers by reading this book. That's what I
Absolutely.
can say in my opening comments.
Thank you, Sri Santosh. I think really good comments. Really appreciate that. I'm sure once we read the books, you can give us all your feedback. I'll go to now Dr. Rajiv Pandey. Sir, from your perspective, from academia perspective, would you think this will be a boon to all your students as they come in? Would they really benefit from this book? Would you make it mandatory for everyone to actually go through this book? Would you put in the library 10 copies and say,
Rajiv sir, actually you are on mute.
Yeah, good morning to all the panelists and all. Can you all hear me now? Am I audible?
yes, sir, we can.
Yeah, right. So good morning to everybody and the participants and the panelists both. And on the onset, let me congratulate Sanil and Meghna for organizing this wonderful event on the launch of the book. As you said, a book surely is likely to be a boon, because what happens, information security and cyber security being such a diverse domain, students are usually confused, I mean, so many sources to visit, so many certifications, students are really bothered. Me not being from the computer science background, do I have a avenue in cyber security? So I think Sanil has compiled the entire thing under one umbrella, and this reading should certainly help students. And getting the concepts to begin with, the fundamentals of information security, if it can help the students to make a foundation and simultaneously get to know the avenues available for them, it surely has to be a certain buy for most of the prosperous students and the individuals who wish to get into this domain. That's it, Bhajan.
Sure, sir. So thanks. So, Sri Santosh, what do you think is the skill deficit in India for cybersecurity requirements the country needs versus what we have? I know the Prime Minister's Raktahin Jung, what he mentioned, bloodless warfare for cybersecurity, said 500,000 professionals will be trained on cyber. What are we near that number? Where have we reached? How does this book help?
See, means, let me tell you the figure of 500,000 or 5 lakhs. Actually, we are nowhere. To be very truthful, it's my candid remarks and personal remarks for that matter. Because, we have no such, you can say, database mentioned about a skill set of a person, right? So yes, skill sets, there's a lot of wanting of skill sets in the cybersecurity field. I'll call it a cybersecurity or infosecurity umbrella, because under this umbrella there's so much different verticals which have to be addressed. Like Sanil, when he was speaking, he spoke about VAPT. I'll speak about 10 other things. I mean, there's so much under this umbrella, and the skill set is wanting, and it's very you can say lacking as of now. I'll tell you the reason why. We have become now bottom heavy. Bottom heavy in the sense that a lot of people want to get into the field, but there's no proper guidance, and there are very few people at the top who are actually into this field. And so people who are at the top should be guiding and doing such things of, I'll call it a mentoring in the form of books, writing books and guiding these people to come into this particular field. You mentioned a very important aspect of skill set. Now, skill set is a different vertical or has different skill set. If I want to become a VAPT professional, if I want to become an auditor, if I want to become a forensic person, skill sets are varied, and different skill sets have to be addressed differently. They cannot be addressed. I also see one more thing in this particular, you can say, when we speak about this domain, that people they loosely use the word cybersecurity and they think cybersecurity means everything. It has to be, more channelized, more compartmentalized, more looked in a way of, when you build a skill set, it is a skill set for something within the cybersecurity domain. So it's very much important. And regarding the professionals, yes, there are a lot of initiatives which are presently also been taken, but I feel we are very long way in building that particular capacity of that particular number of professionals, because there's a lot of void and lot of scope for people to actually come in, and you can just take placements and get their careers into this particular domain.
Thank you so much, sir. Clearly, very mentioned, we have become bottom heavy. People at the top have to be more moderator. Different skill sets have to have different skills of getting that. Sunil, a question to you. This book covers quite well the journey for a person more to get to a CISO InfoSec company. What about a person who needs to get into consulting for cybersecurity? Like few of us have been in consulting, industry consulting, and both sides are important. The vendor partner ecosystem, which serves the InfoSec industry, as well as the CISO and the security directors who actually consume. What are your thoughts towards the other side to actually serve? How will this book help them?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, first of all, the book throws light on the fundamentals, right? So you need to have your fundamental rights, even if you are on the industry insiders or maybe on the external side serving customers, right? That's one. And in fact, there is a humongous need in a form of consulting as well, because a lot of small, moderate, and even for that matter, large companies to have a third eye would deploy consulting, right? So that's one. So I have touched base upon certain skills required for consulting as well, right? So you need, Burgess would second that, is you need a lot of marketing skills, you need to have sales skills, you need to have report writing skills, you need to have branding skills. How would you brand if you are in a small consulting as against a large consulting? How would you live up to it? Like, I have touched base on one of the key concepts, which is integrity, right? Like security, integrity of the person who is in charge, especially in the consulting domain, right? So I've touched base upon that as well. So that's important. And drawing back to from Santosh sir's question, right? What propelled me to write this book was, while I was sitting, our travels were being barred, and while I was sitting, I saw that lot of jobs were cannibalized. A lot of jobs are now going to cut, and that propelled me. This is the right time that if I write a book, a lot of people would be reskilling or looking at reskilling in InfoSec. So you see, one, on the supply side, you have a deficit, but on the demand side, it's growing high, right? And there are these, in the interim, there are a lot of people who are looking for opportunity to reskill. So that's one of the important aspect. And second, to Dr. Rajiv's point, Burgess, from an academia standpoint, Amity was the first university that I approached, right? So Dr. Sanjeev Bansal has actually read the entire book, gave me some contributions, and also have written a forward to it. So education is also extremely important, and that's very close to me, and I want the newcomers to learn. And it should be like an academia. You have extremely less institutes on InfoSec, right? I mean, when I hire, or maybe Burgess, even when you would be hiring, there are hardly any institutes where we pick people from. And I think that should be established. People run for coding, like herds and development and so on and so forth, but InfoSec should also be one of the streams in the colleges.
Absolutely, Sunil. I like the way you said everyone needs to do branding, report writing, marketing skills at all levels, whether you're the industry, you're a CISO, you're a seller, you're a buyer, you're a partner. And I love the idea that what propelled you actually to write this book was lots of jobs will be cannibalized and it's time to reskill. So Dr. Rajiv Pandey, can you help me glorify or epitomize the CISO's role? It's like sometime a Not 7 movie, there's a bank getting attacked, the CISO comes in, he prevents a breach, in a healthcare, in an IT company. Okay, it's almost like a fictional role, but that's the role a CISO lives every day. Dr. Rajiv, if you can help me in a way that students love to make this a career, what do you feel is a CISO's role? And then Sunil can add, and so can Dr. Murugan.
Yeah. CISO, I believe, me being from a technical and academic perspective, I think they're better people to answer. But what I wish to add is, policy processes with respect to any information security in the organization is of prime significance, right? So now if you have a very capable man who can understand, who could define or redefine the processes, who could actually have a bird's view of the entire organizational details, he would actually be in the right position to patch up things, or rather prevent things from much before they happen, right? So CISO, I believe, is the ultimate who, after a lot of experience, an individual needs to be put up there, and he has the viewpoint of the entire thing. So very timely, he has to actually analyze and define and redefine and correct the policies, procedures, and processes which actually make the data access or various vulnerability accesses, analyzing of logs and everything. He has to carry out the entire thing. That's what is my perspective and understanding on the role of CISO, but there are better people who could add to this.
Thank you, Rajiv. Santosh, from your perspective, the CISO's role, how dashing is it? How much you have to be top of the game? You have to be trained. You have to have skills. You have to have connects. You got to know who to go to for when things go wrong. There's an attack. You have to plan fast. Help me describe that role from your perspective.
I see CISO as a leader. Leadership, he has to have leadership quality and proactive thinking. So he has to have proactive thinking of all, like Rajiv sir just brought out about the policies, about his team, how he's going to handle things, not only from the incident point of view which occurs in the organization, but also from the point of, you can say, other leadership qualities, such as, how he can actually think futuristically about his organization, how he can get good people with the right skill set under him, how he can decentralize or delegate his task and make you can say, when I say decentralize, I mean he should tell what to do, not how to do it, right? So this, and plus a CISO's role is very important, because nowadays, if you see, apart from he's the where the you can say the buck stops, right? If anything happens, he is the responsible. He is going to lose his job, or he's a person actually. He has to be an all-rounder. Yeah, he has to be an all-rounder, but at the top. As an all-rounder, he cannot play at 6th or 7th. He has to be all-rounder, leading at the top. And so CISO's role is very important. And with the GDPR and with other issues or new technologies coming in, he has to be abreast with the latest technologies and the policies, not only nationally but globally. So that's where he comes into. And forget about the policy. I'll go one step ahead and tell that he is a person who has to, make his own rules to play the game. It is not to go by the book, because there's so much wide range of incidents or attacks, cyber attacks happening. So there may be something which may not be in the rule book also. So he has to play by his own rules and always be a winner. He cannot lose. He doesn't have the second option of coming second. That's what I think.
I love this. A CISO cannot come second. He has to make his own rules. He has to be a winner. He makes where the buck stops. Very well said. So, Dr. Murugan, do you agree with this? Because you will be actually, what is the security head? Maybe for you, for the police, for the cyber security. How critical is that role? What is the importance of that role in your organization as police, of a cyber security, of a CISO?
Not only physical security, cyber security is important, not only in police, but also in all sector. So all critical sector. So we have lot of vital installation. All the vital installations are very much required for cyber security. For example, recently a lot of cases reported, some of the incidents, I cannot say cases, incidents reported related to some atomic power stations, some ordinary hydroelectric power stations. All the stations, there's some lack of cyber security issues are reported, incidents are reported. It is very, very difficult to develop a cyber security awareness among all the sector, not only police, not only law enforcement, not only vital incident. This is very, very useful, very, very important for the common man also. If somebody using mobile phone, he should know what is cyber security. Otherwise, he will be hacked, his money will be looted. So this is very, very important. It should be brought to the knowledge of all the citizens, those who are using mobile phone. At least 70% of the population are using mobile phone. They should know what is minimum cyber security. Then only we have a sort of awareness in all sectors. Suppose I'm having an iPhone, I should know what are the basic cyber security gadgets are available in my phone, or what are the things I require. Otherwise, I will lose from my phone itself. Forget about the because I'm facing theft cases from the phone also, from the industry also. So my area of operation, I can say my clients from the normal public as well as the industrialists. So cyber security, this InfoSec is a very broad topic. Of course, the Sunil is given a book. It is for the professional, but small awareness also is very much required. Then a lot of people will come. So everybody should know. So suppose you have a house, you know what are the physical security, and almost 80-90% of people are having CCTV in all the houses. So those who are independent houses, they have definitely part of the scheme and the design CCTV also there. Likewise, each and every system, every individual, every institution, they should have some portion for cyber security or some budget for cyber security. This is a totally neglected area. Only one incident reported, then the top management will give some budget. Otherwise, nobody will bother about the cyber security. So that is the major issue. Instead of worried about these cases reported, I'm talking about prevention. So prevention is very important. So prevention, then reduction. That is our point of view. So this awareness is very much required, right from the individual and to the institutions. Thank you.
Very well said. So prevention is most important. Totally neglected area. Sometimes companies wait for an incident and then allocate budget. But the best thing I like is you said my clients. And coming from a police force, you consider clients is really very important. And from your perspective, how cyber is important for your clients, I love that punchline. Thank you so much, sir. Sunil, for your question to you, your book is great for people, students coming into the career, but 60% of the people on the panel today in the audience are people who have already spent 6, 8, 10, 14 years. So what is the secret sauce for them to become heads of businesses of cybersecurity, of consulting, or industries, or police, or academia? What's the secret sauce for a person who's just about to reach a CISO level, nearing there? What should he or she do to get that, break that ceiling and go up?
Yeah, absolutely. And before that, I'll just take a question on the CISO bit, taking a cue. If you want to be a good CISO, you have all these 4 eminent panelists, right? You need to draw lessons from them. So you need to learn, Rajiv, in terms of what learning you take. Then you need to have a good consultant besides you, like Burgess. Then you need to have, if you have incident, you need to report to Dr. Sri Santosh Katsare. And then if you still need help, you'll have to go to Dr. Murugan sir in terms of cybercrime and investigation and so on and so forth, right? So the secret sauce obviously is to have such eminent panels and drawing lessons from them. And going back to your second question, the secret sauce absolutely is curiosity, Burgess. I think that's the word. I think curiosity in terms of learning, in terms of growing, right? So you should not stop where you are. You should draw lessons from various people. You should attend a lot of such conferences, right? Meet different people. So like Dr. Murugan said, right? I mean, he has written a book and there are a lot of lessons to draw from him. So you need to learn those aspects. Understanding different aspects of different people is also extremely sensitive and important. So if you are a consultant, you have a different mindset. As you are from a law enforcement or police or cyber law, they all have their different flavors and different mindset, right? Because their customers are different. Their objective of solving a particular thing is different. And for organization, it is extremely different, right? For organization, it's all about, so for example, an internal CISO needs to first rightly secure budgets, right? That is extremely important for somebody. Now, somebody who's in police or law enforcement, for him, protecting the sovereignty of the country and protecting the security of the country itself is so pivotal. So curiosity, I suggest, is one. Ever learning is the secret sauce. You need to be a reader. You need to be a networking person who network with different people to be able to understand and distinguish different knowledges. And third, which is extremely important, which I learned, was contributing it back. The more you give, the more you receive. So I think these are some of the factors, Burgess.
Excellent. Curiosity is the secret sauce, networking and contributing back to. Dr. Rajiv Pandey, what do you think? From when you advise people to make a career, do you like to add anything more than these 3 points? Lovely points mentioned by Sunil. But anything else from your perspective?
Yes. Like most of them have added, and CISO has got I mean, he's the one at the bottom. People can be skilled in the respective area, but CISO needs to upgrade his skills on a regular basis, because he needs to be handling things continuously or very dynamically, in fact. Then when we talk of career opportunities, or rather, as the book says, so when we say today security is catching, I mean, it's becoming of prime importance, much because now the data and the things are coming on to variables also. Now, when we talk of security, earlier it was systems. Chalo, if a system is hacked, or probably, I mean, yeah, there is a huge cost to that, certainly, but then at least your life is not in danger. But nowadays, with things like variables coming into play, if something of that nature happens, probably you may not see the sun of the next day. So probably that's the reason. So now students, they have got a lot of scope. I mean, a lot of scope, and every avenue, every student, whether he's from computer background, non-computer background, cyber security offers them, or cyber information security offers them plenty of avenues to step in and make their careers on. And things like this, like the book Natkani is put up. So that can be a starting point, and then there are specified avenues, platforms on the net, resources on the net, which enable students to then probably decide a path for themselves and build up their skills in that respective domain. So that is how it should.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv. I like the way you say you may not see the sun of the next decade if you're not secure. Dr. Sri Santosh, most cybersecurity professionals are still in the VAPT process policy, but as Dr. Rajiv mentioned, the world is changing, wearables, IoT, blockchain, AI. How much important is it for cybersecurity professionals to be on top of these technologies? And how much is it really happening?
Okay, let me tell you, answer it in some technical way. See, first of all, there was a concept of defense in depth. Now is no more a concept of defense in depth, but it's a defense in width nowadays. But when it comes to career and when it comes to technology nowadays, at least you can plan a career in the concept of defense of depth, or I'll call it T model, which exists. You have to have knowledge of the particular technology which you want to actually master or get your skill set in. So for that, you have to narrow your scope, and there is where again there is a debatable statement which I'm making. It is specialization is more better than generalization. So when these technologies have come in, you cannot means look to have master all fields. You have to get to specifics. If say IoT is coming, or industrial IoT is coming, or if you say 5G is coming, so anything related to this securing systems or related to cyber part of it or infosec part of it, you have to actually pick a field and specialize in that. So I feel in this case, what matters or what will actually play a big role is the analytical skills, technical skills, and the communication skills, which Sanil has brought out when he spoke just prior to me. So these are very important thing. And with technologies come in, yes, we have, somehow we are getting our surface areas increasing. The people who are interested in this field have more options to actually home down to a particular field and master that field. My suggestion would only be that to all such new entrants or the people who are reskilling, you narrow down the area and actually go for that particular technology, and it will be a really great thing. One thing I would like to tell you, sorry for taking an extra 30 seconds, that what I really, especially since I'm in the digital forensics field for 2 decades, and plus in the IT also, of course, into incident response. But here I feel ki internship and mentorship will play a very big role in actually dealing with the technologies and future careers of people who are getting into?
Well mentioned, internship and mentorship plays a key role. Surface area is increasing. Skills of analytical and technical nature are important. I love the part where you mentioned specialization is more important than generalization. The defense in depth is moved to defense in width and the T model. Dr. Murugan, from your perspective, the fraudsters, the crime people are also using greatest technologies to make crime. AI is used in cybercrime probably as much as is used in prevention. What are your thoughts about skilling people, especially in the police force and other places, to help combat and just be aware of these new technology-based crimes? Mute.
Interestingly, I would like to say, we learn technology. Basically, I'm an art student. I'm an economics student. I learned the computer or cyber forensics or technology only from criminals. We learned only from criminals. So learning from criminals is from our side, and we have to cope up. That is the way we learned. So learning is in a different way. So basically, it is a necessity. Everywhere is a necessity, not a luxury. So necessity creates some sort of learning. That is the way we learning. This is, but we can organize for the training academies or for the school, colleges. We can organize courses can be done. That is very important. Then only there is a gap. Sanil has already mentioned there is a gap. Definitely there is a gap. I'm here this cybercrime investigation for the last 20 years. When I entered somewhere in 2000, I don't know anything about computer. When I was SP in a district, there was a Pentium 4 computer on my table. It is nothing but a costly paperweight. I don't know anything what is computer. But we learned slowly only from criminals. That is the way. Then slowly we are equip ourselves to face the crimes and the criminals. But my suggestion, this book, the book, particularly InfoSec Basic Fundamentals, there is some organized courses. There is a lack of organized courses in the universities, colleges. Even there is no proper PG diploma in cybersecurity or diploma course or degree courses in cybersecurity. Suppose somebody want to appear CISSP, there is no books available in India. We have to get book only from the foreign countries. And absolutely no support. There is no academic support. And interestingly, I had a discussion with one of the university in Tamil Nadu. So just I try to create awareness, and they want to start a course on PG diploma in cyber security. First, the faculties asked a very simple question from me. I'm not academician, but still they are asking a very simple question. Sir, your course and the book, syllabus, everything is fine. How can I get the book? Without book, how can we teach? Here, so not only students, we have to develop the faculty also. Faculty is far behind. That is the reason for the gap. So this, my feeling, this book will be very, very useful for the faculty. Even faculty development program, the UGC already organizing a lot of faculty development program, but the faculty is far below. Out of 20-30% faculty is very good. They are up to date. Here we have the problem. We are facing the criminals. The criminals are teaching us. We are learning. Whereas the academic side, there is no such provision. That is the problem. The product they are coming out from academic institutions or universities. They are having degree. This is nothing but paper. It may not be useful for global point of view. Global, it is no use at all. So I recently, the Cyber conducted a course on CISSP. I attended as a participant. But then only I came to know a lot of things. What are the things are available in CISSP? So many things. I learned only as a student, but it is very useful for my crime investigation, because if I am not learning that particular course, definitely I will be in the dark. This is my experience. So my personal request, not only this book, the book should be given a textbook and some courses to be organized. Then only the things will be taken care. Then only the gap will be filled. That is my feeling. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
very,
so
very
much.
nice.
I love the very nice insights. You said we learn technology mainly from criminals. It's a necessity. It's not a luxury. How it was a costly paperweight. How you need books from foreign countries very often. Most often questions, how do I get that book? Faculty development programs, most important. Criminals teaching us, and use of crime investigation. Sanil, your
this
question.
This is the only
Yeah,
book
Mr.
available with
Burgess, I
us.
would just,
This is
yeah.
the only book available with
Right,
us.
sir.
This is the only book available with us. No Indian author.
Good point.
So,
Mr. Burgess,
Good point.
there is no
Excellent
Indian
point.
author. So
Very, very
we have to
important
learn
point.
from
back to Dr. Murugan's
Dr.
point.
Rajiv, go ahead, sir. Dr. Rajiv, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, a little contrary viewpoint from Dr. Murugan, because see, university as a whole, I mean, we have Gujarat 46 and all. You could have a specialized university which would train the thing. But when you talk about training of the faculties, what happens is, see, cyber security is a amalgamation of, or it's a merger of various technologies. Like you have your operating system, your hardware aspects in place. You should have your cryptographic aspects in place. You should have, like, from MBA or other aspects, or from the law perspective, you should have your cyber laws in place. So when you come to cyber security, it's a merger of all of them, right? So either you make a very specialized university across India which could only train cyber professionals, that should be one aspect. But on a generalized viewpoint, universities teach foundations, and the integration of these foundations will actually, and that would purely depend on the individuals who venture into this space, right? His logical bent of mind, how does he utilize his law perspective, or rather his cryptographic skills, to develop a new algorithms to enhance or set up the firewalls, or analyze firewalls, design firewalls. So that perspective is like little. So with training the faculty, you could only train faculty in the respective areas. You can train faculty in all the areas. You can't tell a computer science engineer to be a good lawyer as well. So ultimately, the people who venture into different spaces would make a space for themselves, integrating all these foundations. Actually, that was my viewpoint.
Thank you, Rajiv, sir. Sanil, now you would like to ask a few things on the book. How is it going to be available? Hardware, hard copy, soft copy? How do you plan to promote it? Your few thoughts. Then I'll ask everyone to summarize. And I've got the best quotes from everybody, which I will speak in the end.
Yeah, just I think Santosh sir, I think you wanted to say something, right? Before I chime in.
Sure, Santosh. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me 30 seconds. I
Please, sir,
somehow
please.
Sure, take it.
agree and disagree with both panelists, because I agree with Murugan sir and with Rajiv sir, who yes, degrees are they are more of a gate passes. I call them gate passes, because they get you in, but actually your skill set will actually put you through when you go. I somehow feel we should approach this particular kind of a solution rather than going with specifics of a field. You should go as per the job roles. Courses and degrees should be, or not degrees, but courses should be as per the job roles. When I mean job role, why do I say if I need a forensic, if I need a incident responder, I should have an incident response course. If I need a forensic analyst, I should have a forensic analyst course. If I need a VAPT, I should have a VAPT course. And regarding CISSP and all, see, we have to have our own certification at some moment of time. And that's why his book may be a first step, or there may be other authors also, or other people also working in this area. So I feel yes, we all are actually thinking in the right direction. That's what I think.
Thank you, sir. I think it quite rightly generalizes that degrees are not just mere gate passes, but they're real skills pertaining to the role. So you've got to have a course for the role, horses for courses, as they say. Nice. Thank you so much. Great point, Santosh. Sanil, your perspective on the book distribution and how do you plan to promote it?
Yeah, so the way I would is it's already live on the Amazon, right? So it's there on the Amazon. The hard copy is available. This is the book, right? So the hard copy is available on Amazon. It's also there on Kindle version. It's globally published as well, so it's there in the US and UK and other countries. And it's also published by BPB, right? It's a technical book as well, so I'm sure they are going to promote it to various colleges. And I think I've drawn very good points from Dr. Murugan and the other panelists as well, as to we need to probably, I'll be looking at tie up with some institutions as well, right? Universities and institutions, so that they can distribute it further to be able to enhance faculty as well as students both together. So I think these are the ways, and CyberFrat and other community, LinkedIn and other communities as a good platform to be able to disseminate this across to everybody? Or just
So, Sunil, the question is, when does it start? Does it start at the 9th, 10th level when a student aspires to leave school and make a career choice? Does it start at the pre-college level? Where do you aim for the book to be started reading by?
correct. So I am aiming at least at a degree level, right? So that's when people get some head start as to I want to go in development, or I want to go in IT security, or I would want to get into service desk, or I would want to get into various other domains. So that's when I would want to give a head start for people to read. And then there are also people who are stuck in their careers, right? And as Shri Santosh sir said, that they would want to repivot their career or reskill. That's also a point where I would like people to read and then pivot their career to meet the demands of the industry.
Thanks so
And
much.
I've also given the link. Yeah, go ahead, Purchase.
People who are stuck in the careers can use it as a turnaround factor. Very well said. I'd like now all the panelists to have their last 30 seconds of summarizing their viewpoints on the book and how it applies, and then I'll get the best catchy points, which I will just add in the end. So, Dr. Murugan, starting with you.
I just verified Amazon. It is only 400 rupees. The book is only 399. So it's very interesting. And as suggested Sanil, we can request some of the institutions or universities.
Yeah.
Let us start with a PG diploma instead of degree. If somebody has some basics about computers or information technology, they can go for this course, PG diploma, which will be very useful for CSSP and other things. So
absolutely,
we should have our own certifications. Why we are unnecessarily worried? We are spending a lot of money. We are spending a lot of money for the certification, and we are waiting. We are waiting from July. We are not able to get the slot. So that is
you're basically creating a brand. Correct. Create a certification brand for India ourselves, like Make in India, right? So basically create a brand for ourselves as well. That's a very good point.
Yeah. Because we have everything. We have technology, we have people, we have books, everything. We have to develop our own certificates, and we have to promote the certificates globally. Then only a lot of people will get benefited.
Absolutely.
And that is my view. Thank you.
Good point. Yeah.
Excellent, sir. Very well point. Thank you. Shri Santosh, sir.
Okay, what from the conversation and whatever Sanil has brought about this book, what I see it as I see it as a success roadmap. Where you have the qualifications, certifications, mentorship, and how the job roles will play out. So to sum up, I can only say that again, which all of us said, reskill and upskill, internship and mentorship, tech and non-tech kind of roles, and difference in depth in terms of career T model. So these all things will take us a long way ahead. And yes, I would really look to read this book, in detail. Thank you.
Thanks. Excellent point, Santosh. Reskill, upskill, internship, and mentorship are the way to go ahead. Well done, sir. Dr. Rajiv.
So yeah, bringing the entire thing under one umbrella is certainly the highlight of this book, I believe. And getting to read this book would actually help us to actually get the finer points. But any graduate or undergraduate, when he comes in or wishes to get into this particular field, he certainly is confused as to where do I make a beginning. So if this book can actually, if I believe it is defining the career path from a start, from the step one onwards, if that can happen, certainly, this book would go a long way in promoting the mindset of the students and getting them a viewpoint as to how do I approach to finally become a professional in computer and information security. I wish all the best to Sanil for a huge success of his volume.
Thank you, sir. Bringing all under one umbrella and promoting the student mindset. Sanil, your final words before I summarize all the panel discussion. You're on mute. Sanil, you're on mute.
Yeah. I think am I audible now? Am I audible now? Okay, great. Yeah, so to encapsulate all our eminent panelists, what they said, right? A is this book would be a catalyst in terms of the graduates and or maybe in their second or third year. That's one, and also so people to repivot their career. Second is, I think this book should prove vital in terms of, or maybe a modicum of inspiration for some of these institutions and universities to be able to create their own brand. And that's a fantastic point which I never thought, right? I think we need to have our own certification bodies and create a name so that the global people should actually adopt some of our lessons from us as well, right? Because I think we have great faculty, great universities, and all the components that should prove this to be vital for us. So that's, and thirdly, I would let the audience share their feedbacks, or maybe the second version would definitely have forensic aspects and various other aspects that could help students, faculties, law enforcement, and others to be able to get some benefit out of it. Thank you.
Thanks, Anil. I'll just summarize some of the great points I picked up. I've written them down. So Sunil started by saying InfoSec is picking up, the perimeter is melting, millions of jobs are available, and cyber and InfoSec will be the shining star and the North Star. Okay, we have become bottom heavy. People at top have to mentor. Different skill sets have to be addressed differently. Book throws light on fundamentals. It has a third eye. Everybody has to know how to build a brand. The book covers that. Marketing skills. What propelled you to write the book? Lots of jobs can be cannibalized, reskilled as you went through the COVID period. It provides a bird's eye view of the organization from the company perspective. CISO as a leader cannot come in second. He has to be a winner. He has to think futuristic. He has to know what to do. Here is where the buck stops, and he makes his own rules. Super point, Santosh. You mentioned that. My clients, I love the way Murugan sir mentioned that. Cyber is so important for my clients. Cyber is an area which is neglected. Prevention is more important. Thank you, Murugan sir, for mentioning that. Curiosity is a secret sauce. You mentioned that, Sunil. Networking, contributing the book is to society is more important for the CISOs to promote in the next level. You may not see the sun of the next decade. Dr. Rajiv Pandey mentioned that very well for the variables. Difference in depth is changed to difference in width. T-model technology and specialization has moved to general is more preferred than more generalization. Santosh sir, you mentioned that very well. Analytical skills, technical skills are more important. Surface area is increasing. Internship and mentorship is a need of the hour. We learn technology through criminals, sir. Dr. Murugan very well mentioned. Necessity is not there. It's actually not a luxury anymore. It's necessity. It was earlier costlier paperweight. Books from foreign countries. Why can't we have an India book? How can I get the book is the most often questions. Develop the faculty. Criminals teach us. We have a way of learning and useful for crime investigation. Finally, the last page, contrarian view, which Dr. Rajiv gave. How can we have a specialized university and also have degrees for more cybersecurity? Santosh sir mentioned degrees are more geared gate passes. We should have the right courses for the right people. People are more like sort of increased curiosity to turn it around. Create a Made in India certification is the highlight of this session. Success roadmap is the book what makes it to reskill, upskill, internship, and mentorship. It brings about all under one umbrella, promoting student mindset, catalyst approach for second and third year students. It's a medium of inspiration. I'll end with that. Great panel discussion, sir. Thank you so much, Sunil. Congratulations on a lovely book. Very well done. God bless. Good luck. Thank you, Murugan sir. Thank you, Rajiv Pandey sir. Thank you, Santosh. Thanks, Sunil, for calling me out. Thanks, Cyberfrat. Great session. Really enjoyed.
Thank you. Thanks, Anil. All the best.